Here are the most X-Files worthy experiences people have ever had. My wife calling my name, nothing unusual about that, except that I did not hear it with my ears, as I was listening to Led Zeppelin's In My Time of Dying on the stereo, and it was cranked up. I heard it in my mind. I walked to the bathroom as I knew my wife was taking a bath. I found her face down in the water. She was unconscious, having suffered an epileptic seizure. Fortunately, I found her in time. I was driving down the highway about 3 a.m. when a semi-truck pulled alongside me. Then swerved into my lane, running me off the road and down a very steep incline. I remember going over. I gunned the engine, why I don't know, but as I was going downhill, I kept telling myself to step on the brake. I couldn't move, it was like someone was holding my foot down. Then I heard this voice tell me, okay, now you can step on the brake. Neither my infant daughter nor myself were injured, and the only damage to the car was a hole in the oil pan. Both the tow truck and the highway patrol officer were incredulous that I didn't roll the car. They told me if I had tried to stop any sooner than I did, I would have probably killed us both. When I was in high school, a guy and I got into an argument. He socked me in the jaw, and I started to fall to the floor. When I hit the floor, I instantly transported to a dinner table at which I was an adult. There was a woman sitting across from me, with a toddler boy and a preteen girl. I got a good look of my surroundings, a relatively modern house with what looked like 2 floors. I felt like I belonged here, like I had some sort of emotional connection with all the people in the room, especially the kids. Then, the woman, my wife, asked me a question. When I opened my mouth, I threw up all over the table and woke up in a stretcher in an ambulance. Hours later, I found out I just had a minor concussion. For a while, I felt like I left a part of my life behind, even if it was only for a bleak moment in that world. To this day, I can still clearly remember all the faces and what the house looked like. I was 6 and my brother was 10. We had a 21-year-old foster brother who lived with us off and on. One night I woke up to see him standing in the doorway of my room, checking on me. I said his name in a questioning voice. He said, "It's okay. Go back to sleep." Around the same time, my brother woke up in tears. He said he'd had a dream about a night standing on a hill, and it made him feel very sad. Turns out our brother died in a car crash that evening. Not as spooky as some other things I've read. But I was sitting at my computer with my door kinda cracked open, enough to where I can see out. I then see like 5 men in suits walk up the stairs and start walking to my room. I should be freaking out, but I can't seem to move my head. Then they reach my room and kick the door open all the way, then suddenly I can move my head again. All the men are gone, but my door is wide open. Still freaky to think about sometimes. I saw my mom holding my baby sister in her arms and taking her to bed. Not weird, right? My mom was still pregnant with my sister at that time. I went to kitchen and saw her still in there. Still pregnant. I didn't even bother going to bedroom to see who just went in there. Just nope. Stay in living room and mind my own business. Let me preface this with my morning routine. Wake up at 4:30 a.m. Out the door by 5:15 a.m. Clock in at work 5:50 am. Never fails unless major traffic incident on the highway. Anyhow, one morning this past August, I am out the door as usual, minimal traffic on the road. Boss calls halfway through my commute, "Hey, you coming in?" And I say, "Yeah, why do you ask?" "Boss, well it's 6:30 a.m. and you usually call if you're going to be late." I look at my dashboard and yup. It's 6:30 a.m. Somewhere between leaving my door and getting on the road I lost about 1 hour. We're all convinced something is going on in the flat above the one my parents have lived in since 2002. For starters, all of us, me, my siblings, our parents, as well as some of our neighbors, occasionally heard furniture being dragged across the floor when no one was currently living there. Sometimes we'd hear the footfalls of a running child as well. There is also the fact that in the years since we moved there, 2 different married couples lived there, both divorced within a year. A third couple came the brink of divorce to the point where they stopped living together for a while. She went to her parents' home I think, and he also went to stay somewhere else. Apparently in the time away they mended things and, after hearing stories about that flat, decided to move out. No idea if they're still together as of now. Actually, before I moved out in 2009 a couple was remodeling it, apparently spent a ton of money on it, but their relationship fell apart and they never got married.